Hi, my name's Perry Fizanno. I am a professor in the computer science department at Western Washington University, and I'm recording this video for you as part of the computer science department's contribution to Virtual Admitted Students Day for 2020. So what I thought I'd do for this video is just kind of walk you through the website a little bit and talk about some key topics that are, help you understand more about the department. And then that also gives you kind of a lead if you want to dig deeper on something, kind of where to find it on the website, and you can click there for more information. There's actually also going to be a live Q&A session with someone or a couple people from the department, I believe on April 17th, so you can look out for that as well. So let's just start by talking about the department. And I've done a presentation for Admitted Students Day for the last 10 years or so, but this is a little bit different. But what I always like to start with and talk about first is the people in the department. So for me, the people in the department kind of make it what it is. Here's a picture from students at graduation last year. This is a picture of Cybersecurity Club at some competition where they won some award for a regional competition. This is the group of CS mentors or tutors in the department that provide free drop-in tutoring for students in lower level classes. This is an aerial photo that actually from a plane that one of our faculty was flying that had a camera mounted on the wing that was being controlled by in the cockpit, and that was part of a senior project for CS students in the department. So that's just a few photos. Let's look at, let's go to the People tab on the website. And if you want to go to the website, it's just www.cswwu.edu, and that will redirect you to the correct website that you're looking at right here. So if I go to the People tab, that's where you'll see information about faculty and staff. So there's numerous faculty in the department. There are faculty that have interests in everything from human-computer interaction, web design, computer gaming, graphics. This is me without a beard. I do optimization algorithms, computer science education, bioinformatics, people doing computer security. Here's a couple of our faculty that do computer science education, that work with future teachers, that we're trying to build a Bachelor of Arts in Education in computer science education, and that's coming hopefully in the next year or two. Faculty in the department that do machine learning, computer security, natural language processing, big data, bioinformatics, high performance computing, human-computer interaction, more computer security, computer vision. And so, you can look at these faculty's interests, look at what they're up to, and you can see kind of what their research interests are, which also aligns with their teaching interests. We offer a lot of electives in the department to supplement the core computer science degree, and all the electives, every faculty usually has one or two electives every year in their sort of pet area that is usually aligned with their research area. Also in the department, some good people to know staff-wise. Mary Hall's a great person to know for computer science general advising. She'll actually be one of the people that does the Q&A session that'll be live on April 17th. And Mary's super knowledgeable about the department. She's been our department advisor for several years now, and she helps students from the time they get on campus, helping them with registering for classes. She does group advising sessions to get information out to students about what's going on in the department, how to manage your schedule. She does a lot of one-on-one advising with students, and she's just a great resource to have. She's super knowledgeable. Laura does the advising for the cybersecurity program in the department. So and then there's other staff that do technical support, admin support in the department, and it's a very welcoming, friendly place. So I love the people in the department. So that's really what makes it a great place. Let's talk a little bit about programs in the department. So there's two different computer science degrees. We offer a bachelor's and a master's degree in computer science. There's also a math computer science combined degree. And this combined degree is really owned by the math department, but there's several CS courses as part of that, so we link to it from our website. There's also some minors out there for people majoring in other things, other science disciplines or social science disciplines, humanities disciplines, have minored in computer science to kind of round out their degree. There's also a degree in cybersecurity. Now, this degree is actually only available as a 2+2 program with local community colleges, so people transfer into Western after doing 2 years at a local community college and finish their Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity at Western. But if you're a CS student, if you come to Western as a first-year student and you are interested in cybersecurity, then you can do the bachelor's degree in computer science, but take your elective classes related to computer security or cybersecurity. Several of the cybersecurity courses are available as CS electives, things like computer security, advanced network security, reverse software engineering, things like that. And there's also some internet studies certificates and things that we offer, again, to people typically outside of the CS department to give them a little bit of technical focus for their degrees. So that's the degrees that we offer. The master's degree is actually available as a master's degree that people that get bachelor's degrees at other universities come to Western to do a master's degree in a couple of years. They do some research, some coursework. The master's program is also available to people in the CS department if you do your undergraduate degree here. And we have this program that's called the Fast Track program that lets you in your fourth year as an undergrad, you start taking graduate level classes. And so then what you can do is you have those 4 undergrad years, and that fourth year is you can start taking graduate level classes. So the 2-year master's degree, the first year of the master's is really like the fourth year of your undergrad. So you can do the combined bachelor's and master's degree together in 5 years. And that's a great option for students that are really excelling at the undergraduate program. And having a master's degree in computer science opens up doors for different kinds of jobs, maybe more research-oriented jobs, maybe just higher levels of pay for other kinds of software engineering positions. So it's a great option for people that are excelling in the program. So let's talk a little bit more about the student clubs. So this is something that I think really sets Western apart overall on the entire campus, but especially in the CS department, is the students' ownership of their education and their development as leaders. There's lots and lots of opportunities to take part in clubs in the department. We have a chapter of the Association for Computing Machinery, so this is kind of the professional body for computer scientists in the country, the ACM, and we have a local student chapter here of that club. They do things like arrange hackathons, or they do resume building workshops, or things like that around professional development. There's also an Association for Women in Computing club in the department focused on increasing the representation of women in computer science, which is, historically has been very low. But we've done a lot of work over the last 10 years or so to increase the percentage of women in the department and create a more welcoming, inclusive atmosphere for them. The AWC also runs a Sisters Plus program that's kind of a mentoring program for students where they pair up, older students, I shouldn't say older students, but more advanced students with younger students to give them some mentorship through their program. There's a game design club. There's a CS Mentors program that I mentioned. There was a photo on the very first page of the CS Mentors standing on those stairs. The CS Mentors program is a great example of student leadership and how it really impacts the department. So several years ago, 10 plus years ago now, some students just said, hey, we should have a tutoring program in the department to help younger students in introductory classes. And so they basically just volunteered. They said, hey, we're going to set up shop in one of the labs, and if people can just drop in and ask us questions. Well, this turned into growing. It grew every year. The demand for the tutoring and the mentoring just went through the roof. And so then the mentoring program got bigger and bigger. We started finding some money in the department to pay the mentors to participate in the program. There's now a head mentor who then goes through like an interview process and selects other students to be mentors. And there must be 20, 30 mentors now that run the mentoring program from, I think they run it from 4 to 7, Monday through Friday. They do it in a lab. Even this quarter that we're going to be online and virtual, the mentors are still dedicated, and they're going to hold live Zoom sessions with students to provide some tutoring. So the students are very dedicated to this program, and it's making a huge impact on the student success. And if you ask younger students in the program that are in those introductory classes, they love having another outlet. They always have their teacher to go to, possibly a teaching assistant. Certain classes have teaching assistants. But they love another outlet where they can be working on their stuff and get their questions answered right while they're working on things in the lab. And it's, like I said, it's just turning into a great thing. We have clubs for AI, robotics, cybersecurity club that's open to computer science or cybersecurity students. There's people from other disciplines that take part in that as well, that are looking at cybersecurity from other angles. There's a whiteboard coders club. So if you're familiar at all with like how technical interviews go, sometimes part of the interview is, hey, go to the whiteboard and write me some code to solve this kind of a problem. And the Whiteboard Coders Club tries to, kind of address that by saying, hey, let's practice together. They dig up problems either from, job interviews that they went on or various books that are out there. And they do practice sessions where they all like kind of quiz each other and make, hone your communication skills, your problem solving skills, so that when you go out to do that job interview, maybe you're a little less anxious and a little more confident that you have those particular interview skills. Even if you have all the computer science skills, sometimes the interview is a little bit anxiety inducing, if you will, because there's the pressure of the interview and the job is on the line. And so they're trying to mimic that and help students just hone those skills that are necessary to succeed in the interviews. So lots of clubs. You can see the clubs just keep going down. A chapter for the National Society of Black Engineers. SACNAS has a chapter here in the campus at Western in the College of Science and Engineering. There's sort of a lunch group called DevOps that talks about problems in the world of operations and computer science from like a system administration and operations standpoint. There's an IEEE student chapter, Viking Women in Cybersecurity, League of Vikings. So there's all sorts of clubs that people can get involved in, and that's a great way to hone your leadership skills, meet people in the department, and build up that community in the department and that welcoming environment. So speaking of welcoming environment, I'll go over to this equity and inclusion tab. And one of the new things, like equity and inclusion, first of all, has been a central piece of the computer science department for many, many years. I just finished 8 years as chair of the department. And during my time as chair, we did numerous things focusing on equity and inclusion. We were part of the National Center for Women and Information Technologies Pace Setters program a few times, focusing on tracking and understanding the retention of women and minoritized students in the department, and understanding what we were doing to provide a more supportive atmosphere and developing that and honing that atmosphere to make it more welcoming and inclusive for everybody, whether they have a disability, people of different races, sexual orientations, everything. So one of the other things that's a new piece or a new program in the whole College of Science and Engineering is this idea of an ambassadors program. So every year there's going to be a faculty and a student ambassador. This year the faculty ambassador is Dr. Moshumi Sharman in our department, and the student ambassador is Meryl. And this quarter, they're holding virtual office hours, but in a typical quarter, they would hold office hours where students could, or faculty could come in and talk to them about equity and inclusion issues, issues that they were facing, so that then that provides kind of a safe space to talk about that, and then that information can be like surfaced up higher to the chair or other faculty and committee meetings, things like that. When I was chair, the door was always open for people to come in and talk to me about that. But at the same time, it's good to have many outlets for people to kind of discuss issues like that because they're often sensitive. And so that's something new that we have going this year in the department, and we're super happy about that. That's a new feature in the department. So that kind of wraps up my discussion of equity and inclusion and people and clubs in the department. I wanted to just talk a little bit more about research in the department, and I'll go back to the people tab. And you can see, like I said before, everybody's research interests are listed here. We have we have a master's program, and all master's students have to do research as part of the master's degree. But we have a very robust undergraduate research program as well, and many undergrads are involved in some sort of research. Not all of it leads to publication. Some of it is just aimed at developing skills, but some of it does lead to publications. Poster presentations, articles, and conferences or journals have come out of undergraduate research at Western. A few years ago at the Grace Hopper celebration for women in computing, they have an undergraduate research competition, and Western students took first and second place in the same year at that competition one year, which is really a testament to, like I said, the robustness and the quality of the experience that undergrads get with regard to research. And for those that don't really understand, like, what is research? It always seems kind of abstract. In computer science, research is often very applied, and it's also kind of just like a way to have the student take ownership of their education and do some self-directed learning. And those skills that you build up doing research, communication skills, problem-solving skills, how to learn things on your own, those are all skills that serve you well in the workplace, whether or not you go into a research position or go off to get an advanced degree. Those skills that you build up in research are often are applicable even if you go into a typical software engineering position. So now let me just wrap up by talking a little bit about opportunities. So one of the reasons people come into computer science these days is because there are a wealth of opportunities out there. There's numerous jobs in the Seattle area and King County in software engineering. They're lucrative positions, and that's awesome. It's great to see students work hard during college and then get a great job that they're excited about, earning a good paycheck when they get out of college. 95% of our students are employed soon after graduation, if not having a job lined up before they even graduate. And usually the few percent who aren't employed have chosen take a year off and go bike through Europe or something. But yeah, even those people, when they come back, then they have a job lined up. So it's a very rich field in terms of opportunities. All the jobs are not necessarily in what you would think of as typical software engineering positions. We have people doing things like more research-focused positions at Pacific Northwest National Labs in Seattle or in Richland, Washington. We have people working at Vulcan or the Allen Brain Institute doing more research-oriented kinds of positions. We have people that have gone into education. We have people that have gone off to get PhDs and became professors. And so, though there's many opportunities out there for computer science, generally, one of the things that's coming up more and more all the time is with the increase in data science, is that there's just a great way to make an impact in the world through computer science. I always like to say that if we ever claim one day that we've cured cancer, who cures cancer, right? It's going to be people that are experts in medicine and biology and chemistry, but there's definitely going to be people in that group that are statisticians and computer scientists and data scientists and people that do data visualization, because a lot of the big important problems of the day related to energy or healthcare, virus outbreaks, a lot of things like that require a multidisciplinary effort to attack it. There is no single person in the world that's going to come up with these problems on their own. And so one of the things that we like to emphasize here at Western is, learn how to collaborate with people outside your discipline, learn how to communicate well, and build your technical skills and things like that so you can be a great contributor on the computer science or technical side of those issues. But look at it that way as opposed to a go-it-alone endeavor. We always have job openings listed on our website. There's a career center at Western. The Viking career link, that's also listing tons of jobs. There's career fairs every quarter that you can, as a student, go participate in those to get an internship or a full-time job. You can just go explore too. As a freshman, maybe you're thinking, I'm not going to look for an internship this year, although some people do obtain internships after their freshman year. But I would say more typical is after sophomore or junior year. And but you can go to career fair as a freshman and kind of dip your toe in the water and see what's going on. We also offer, have companies come to campus in a normal quarter. Every week or so, a company will come and do what we call a tech talk, where they'll talk about, hey, here's the cool problems that we're working on. And then students can engage with those people. Oftentimes they're alumni that come back to do that. And so they can really relate to the current students. And those people can talk about exact, hey, here's this job you should apply for. They also do things like people will come back to campus and do things like, hey, let's review resumes together. And I'll critique your resume or your cover letter or something like that. Google was here last year for a few days, and they did all these mock interviews, they did actual interviews, they did talks, they met with different clubs to talk about what they were up to in the club and how they could do even more interesting things in the clubs. And so, we have this very rich alumni network, and the alumni are very well connected to current students. And so that networking, those opportunities that are available to students helps pave the way for students to obtain internships and jobs. So I'm just going to wrap up with that, and I want to thank you for participating in Virtual Admitted Students Day for the Computer Science Department. And like I said, there will be a live Q&A session with Mary Hall and potentially others on April 17th. And use that as a format to reach out and get some other questions answered. You're also welcome to, write an email to the department or something like that if you have a specific question for somebody. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Stay well and take care.